Hey everybody, this is Jordan with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. I am here with my amazing co-hosts CJ Cabrera and Renika Wood. How you guys doing today?
Hello.
I'm good.
Good, good, and happy to have you guys with me. And also we're all very honored and grateful to have Dan Shockley here, the man himself. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today. We're very happy to have you here.
Well, thank you, Jordan, and your co-host, and Renika, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to share my amazing journey on your platform.
Definitely. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, so I've kind of done a little bit of reading on your background and stuff, and seeing that that you went through some pretty serious situation and stuff. And so for the people that don't know who Dan Drydock Shockley is, could you please give us a little background?
Sure. Yeah, I'm a retired Navy, served on active duty for 22 years. Operation Desert Storm, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Iraqi Freedom veteran. I was stationed on 7 different ships throughout my career, and 3 of those were deployed to the Persian Gulf. And for my last assignment, I was actually on the ground in Bahrain, which is a little island off the coast of Saudi Arabia, when we started Operation Enduring and Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was there when we started everything.
Wow.
And
wow.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just excited, because just hearing you say that, it's like I'm pretty sure we're at the same place at the same time.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I actually did my retirement ceremony there at the base gym in Bahrain, and flew out of there. I did that in August of 2003, and I flew out the first week of September back to Hawaii, where I was residing at the time, and I out processed, got my retirement ID card, and then I registered with the Veterans Healthcare System there in Hawaii, and it's been smooth sailing ever since then.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Renee.
I said it's just very, very impressive. Not just saying it's very impressive. Definitely.
And so well,
Thank you very much.
I have a few questions that come to mind. One is that I was deployed to Bahrain in 2003, in March 2003, and so I did my tour there, and so that was just kind of really cool.
Wow.
And so
You look familiar. We probably crossed paths over
there. I've actually, I picked up mail. I actually picked up mail in Manama and all that stuff, and so so it's really kind of really really.
On base.
Yeah, I've been to that base. I've been to that naval the naval Fifth Fleet, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. And so what was your rank when you got out?
I was a first class radio man.
Oh, very cool. So what is that? Yeah. Is that like a is that enlisted or is that like an officer?
No, that's enlisted.
Is it like a East what is
E6.
like E6?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. Cool. So I never understood Navy rank, so you have to break it down to like an E6 for me to output.
Yeah. First class petty officer is what we go by. But, yeah, E6 is the pay grade.
Cool. Very cool.
Wow.
And
I used to be a lifeguard at the base pool over there also. My last 6 months on the island, I moonlighted. I'd go over there after work, after my military duty, and I'd go to the pool at night and on the weekends. So that was a lot of that was interesting. I had a good time.
That's very cool. CJ was in the Marine Corps, and so it's very cool to have 3 veterans here. So
wow, that's awesome, man. Good job. Semper Fi.
Fine.
I guess, Mr. Shockley, my question is, I was reading your information on Instagram, and I was seeing about your life transition and when you were experiencing some, I think, medical challenges, and you first got diagnosed with, I think it was colon cancer. Is that correct?
Yeah, I had my first and only colonoscopy at the VA there in Hawaii. And I didn't have any symptoms or any indications. However, the only thing we had was the previous 12 months, I had a 14-pound unexpected weight loss. And my GI doctor decided, let's do an upper GI as well as a lower GI. And this was my first and only colonoscopy. And what happened when I woke up, he revealed that there was 100 polyps embedded throughout my colon, rectum, and anus. And I would need to be referred to the certified genetic counselor, which would be right there at Tripler Army Medical Center. Now, the Army Medical Center is right there on the same campus as the VA healthcare. So a few days later, I went over for my appointment and sat down with the genetic counselor and a colorectal surgeon. And what they thought that I had, the gene mutation they thought I had was familial adenomatous polyposis. I know that's a mouthful. The FAP is the acronym. So the way to reveal this would be to do a germline DNA test. Now, this test, it's not available in Hawaii. There's no lab in Hawaii that can facilitate this type of a test. So the samples, so blood and saliva samples, went to a molecular oncology lab in Pasadena, California.
Wow.
And in the meantime, my genetic counselor and my colorectal surgeon discussed with me that and shared some resources with me, because I need to read up on the mutation they thought I had, read about the type of surgery, and then read about life after surgery with a permanent ostomy. So being a military mindset, I broke it down into 3 phases. Now, I had 6 weeks to before the results came back, because the testing they had to do, I mean, they found the mutation was in my 5th chromosome, and it was the APC mutation, which is the adenomatous polyposis coli. Now, since I was 51 when they did this test, that confirmed the diagnosis of attenuated FAP. And one of the differences between attenuated AFAP and FAP is attenuated has a later onset. So normally it would be between your 50 and 55 years old is when that would, if you're going to have that mutation, that's when it's going to show. FAP, it could be as early as 18 months. And then, of course, you'd have to have your colonoscopies, before you're even a teenager for the rest of your life. And so anyway, so the mutation that, of course, I had diagnosed with was attenuated FAP, and it was in the best practice of medicine to have my colon, rectum, and anus removed and have a permanent ileostomy. So since I was already mentally prepared for this, when I was informed about the mutation results, and they recommended the surgery, I said, well, let's do it. I'm ready. So my surgery was 2 weeks later, and it was a 6-hour surgery. And I had my midline, I had a 9-inch incision with 35 staples. And then right next to that is my ostomy. And then where my anus used to be, I had 13 staples there. Now I'm 6'1", and I'm in my bed at the hospital for 12 days. We're at a 45-degree angle. And so my feet were sticking out on the side of the bed. And it was, so I just took it easy. And then I recovered. It took about nine weeks to recover. And then I went back to my activities. It took a while to get my endurance back, but I just went about my life as if nothing happened, honestly. I mean, I'm self-sufficient. My wound and ostomy nurse in the hospital, she equipped me to take care of myself, and I've been taking care of myself for the last 8.5 years. And, like I said, I just, I started my advocacy. We can talk about that in a little bit, but that's what just keeps me going, just to share my journey locally, nationally, and internationally. I have a lot of contacts over the last 8.5 years. And it's just been a lot of, it's been exciting. So I appreciate the opportunity to share my journey on your platform, and, feel free to ask any questions.
Wow. I know we probably I got questions. Jordan got questions. We got questions probably. This is my last question, I promise. Just hearing you share about being mentally prepared for that surgery that would be life changing for you, it was kind of like, all right, let's get it done. There wasn't a lot of time to think about it, but you was prepared for it already. With us having chronic illnesses like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, sometimes having an ileostomy or colonoscopy is something that we hear about like at first diagnosis, like one day you might have to have this. So our mind is always constantly thinking about, well, when am I gonna get my ileostomy? I know I'm gonna get one, when I'm gonna get it. So I think when you shared that you didn't have that long to decide, but it was a life situation versus a death, and you say, you know what, let's get it done. And I love the fact that you had that openness and that good feeling to do that. So thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you. You're definitely a warrior. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, and I'll just interject. My mindset was I tend not to think about things I'm unable to control, such as medical issues. What I can control is my positive attitude, and that's brought me 5 decades on God's green earth. Why change now?
Right.
And, you know, so, I mean, it's just, and, you know, the military also equipped me to the Marines, they have their mantra, adapt, improvise, and overcome. And I used to be around a lot of Marines in my time. So, you know, I just, I got chills thinking of it right now, you know, because, you know, really, you just adapt, improvise, and overcome, because, you know, there's, we're going to be faced with challenges, personally, professionally, and I'm all about overcoming adversity. You know, this challenge isn't an obstacle. I mean, my condition isn't an obstacle; it's a challenge, and I overcome it. You know, each and every day. I mean, I don't even think about my ostomy. You know, I just enjoy life, and my advocacy efforts. That just drives me more. I send out positive vibes. I get that back tenfold.
Right. You know, yeah, I'm definitely, you know, and everybody here is a big believer in that, you know, and putting out positive vibes, good energy out into the world and stuff like that. And so, you know, so what, for your advocacy efforts, you know, are there any, thing, that currently that you're working on that kind of let the people out there know about?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I just got confirmation yesterday. I've been working on something with a senator in Texas, Senator Donna Campbell. She's a medical doctor there in the Comal County, where I used to live in Texas for a year. I relocated back here to California, and I'll share what my the reason I'm back here for in a bit. But what I'm working with Dr. Campbell, or Senator Campbell, Dr. Campbell, and her staff, I initiated a resolution for Hereditary Colon Cancer Syndrome Awareness Week. What I want to do is designate the 4th week of March as HCC Awareness Week. And right now, there's no legislative jurisdiction. So I have a resolution. She has sponsored it. And right now, as we speak, based on yesterday's email from her staff, her chief of staff, it's going to be on the legislative session, which commences next month in Austin, Texas, and it's going to be discussed on the House floor. Hopefully, get over to the Senate floor. So, in the state of Texas, we can get the 4th week of March designated as HCC Awareness Week, and that, to my knowledge, that's good for 10 years. So, but in the meantime, I relocated to California, back to California, because now I've just been referred to Stanford University Cancer Center. I've been evaluated for surgery, which is now going to be the 1st of March. And that's called a pancreas sparing duodenectomy resection.
Wow.
Now that's a mouthful. So what they're going to do is they're going to take out the lower part of the stomach, which is the duodenum or duodenum. Depends on who you talk to, what day of the week it is. They're going to also take out my gallbladder, and then a small, I believe about 10 to 30 centimeters of my small intestine. See, my mutation requires routine surveillance. So I've been getting the surveillance consists of an EGD, a side view scope, and a single balloon enteroscopy. Now, the single balloon enteroscopy, that procedure is not available in Hawaii. So that's why I come over to Palo Alto VA Hospital. And I knew that down the road, it's very likely that I would need further surgery. And we're at that juncture now. So I relocated from Hawaii to California back in 2016. And then I did a little traveling while I've been here in the mainland. But I'm back in California because we're at that juncture now with my condition that we're going to need this surgery. Now, if you're familiar with a Whipple procedure, that's the surgery that if it was like 20 years ago, that's what I'd be up for, that particular surgery. That's a very critical surgery. However, the modern, the modern medical technology, they've been able to advance to where now we can do this, what's called a pancreas sparing duodenectomy resection. Now, the surgery that I'm going to have is at the University, Stanford University. I have one of the nation's leading pancreatic cancer surgeons that is going to perform the surgery. And like I said, that's going to be the 1st of March. But in the meantime, I have this HCC awareness resolution campaign that I'm also going to be collaborating with my legislative members here in Sacramento, California, which is where I reside. And we'll see what we can do. And I'm also an advocate for the NORD, which is the National Organization for Rare Disorders. They have designated the last day of every February as Rare Disease Day, so I'm an advocate for them. And the reason they put it for the last day of February is because February has, every 4 years, you've got the February 29th, which that's a rare day, right? So why not have Rare Disease Day on the last day of February? So,
Right.
and then I'm also an advocate for the United Ostomy Associations of America. The first Saturday of every October is Ostomy Awareness Day. Now, those 3 campaigns will be for proclamations. I'm also an advocate for the Colon Cancer Prevention Project, the Colon Cancer Coalition, the Colon Cancer Alliance, the Wound and Ostomy Nurse Society, the Wound and Ostomy Nurse Society Certification Board. Now that's in the US, and I'm also an advocate for the Ostomy Canada Society out of Toronto, a Bigger Life organization based in Northern Ireland. I'm also been a guest on their podcast series called Behind the Pouch. Find a Cure organization and Rare Revolution magazine are both based in the UK. I've been an advocate for them. Numerous articles, of course, you probably read some of them. Recently, I've been selected to partner as a patient with a rare disease, partner with a doctor, or I'm sorry, a medical student in Scotland in the University of Dundee. And the student wrote an essay and submitted it, and we're in competition. It's a really incredible opportunity. So probably in the next month, we'll find out what the results of that are. So,
Wow.
And then recently, I've been involved with collaborating with a doctor in India. In fact, tomorrow morning, I have a podcast. We're going to be going live on Instagram with that, and we're going to do a series, a podcast with her. And, it's just, wherever the opportunity presents itself. I have a large following on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and everything I do is all gratis. I've been a live case presentation for Relay for Life events on behalf of the American Cancer Society in Hawaii, California, Idaho, and Texas. And I've also been a guest speaker for Get Your Rear in Gear in San Antonio a year and a half ago on behalf of the Colon Cancer Coalition. So, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said, it's, I write a lot of articles, and I'm sure there's a handful more advocacy opportunities I'm involved with that I haven't mentioned. And I'm part of a Hereditary Colon Cancer Registry at Creighton University and Johns Hopkins University. And if I could have a moment, I'd like to share the rare mutation I have, attenuated FAP, was discovered by Dr. Henry T. Lynch. So if you remember hearing about Lynch syndrome, well, Dr. Lynch is the one that discovered that. Well, he also discovered the mutation I'm diagnosed with. Now,
wow.
Dr. Lynch is the founding father of hereditary cancer research, which he started back in the very early 60s. And he was the Among other things, he was the director of preventive medicine at Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. And my genetic counselor, my colorectal surgeon, were colleagues of Dr. Lynch. And at 86 years old, guess who shows up in Hawaii 7 months after my surgery? Dr. Lynch. So I got personally and privately introduced to him. We sat down and for an hour and 50 minutes, and we discussed my case, and we stayed in contact through the years. And then June 2nd of 2019, he passed away at 91 and a half years old. He was still going into his lab every day, Monday through Friday, for at least 12 hours. And I would send over my pathology reports to him, and articles that I had written, I had submitted to him to give me his feedback and insight. So, the rest of my life now is devoted to continuing the legacy of Dr. Lynch on educating the world about attenuated FAP and the importance of early detection in hopes of saving lives. So.
That's great. That's great. You know, I sincerely appreciate all that. You know, I know that all that information that you just shared, you know, and the, you know, all those organizations that you're a part of, and people being, you know, becoming familiar with those, it's gonna help. It's gonna help a lot of people. So I sincerely appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Well, and there's a couple of things on my mind too, but I know I'm gonna let CJ talk a little bit here.
Well, I don't have any questions for you right now, Dan, but I want to say that your story about the ostomy and everything, about your mindset, I myself right now, I'm kind of in a depression, failing medications. I've only had ulcerative colitis for 2 years, but I'm on my third biologic and it's not looking so good. And the next drug, I definitely don't want to take it. And I don't know what's after that, but it might be surgery. And I've been trying to make peace with it, and it's taken me a little while. But I find your story very comforting. So
I appreciate that, and I send you you know, positive thoughts and vibes, and hope the best for you. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And so I guess just to clarify a little bit, you know, so you were diagnosed, you know, I guess, you know, or the polyps were found while you were active duty. Is that correct?
No, I was retired at the time. I retired in 2003, and then I had the colonoscopy in 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm through the VA, so you know, they took care of everything. They continue to take care of everything.
I mean, I did 5 years active duty in the Air Force, and then a year in the National Guard in California, and then at a port in Port Hueneme, and then 2.5 years in the Nebraska National Guard here in Lincoln. And the only reason I'm not in the military anymore is because of Crohn's disease. And so I got, you know, in 2009 I got you know, pretty sick for several months, and I did have to have surgery. I had 18 inches of my colon removed, and my ileum taken out. I had a temporary bag and stuff like that, and you know, so you know, I definitely know, you know, that feeling of, you know, not wanting that to happen, but you know, but at the same time, you know, through you know, I would say that the net, especially with the medication I have now, that surgery did help, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
And so, but you know, so I was just curious, and so yeah, but I mean, my actual commander, you know, captain, it was also cool because he was an African American dude, and so I was right now that actually, you know, it meant a lot to me that, you know, he actually came all the way from Lincoln to, you know, Omaha, and came to my hospital bed, you know, and talked to me or whatever.
Wow.
And I was like, and I remember saying, you know, sir, you know, I'm ready to come back, you know, I'm ready to, you know, come back, you know, and serve and stuff, you know, do my, do my enlistment and stuff like that. But, you know, I got a letter saying that, you know, I couldn't be anywhere with, you know, limited medical supplies. I was, you know, effectively non-deployable. And then like shortly thereafter, I got an honorable discharge in the mail. And so, and so that was that. But, you know, but I love the military. Like, you know, of course it's not all roses and stuff like that, you know, stuff happens, but I definitely, for me, it was a great experience overall.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your service and welcome home.
Thank you. And so so now, so this so Crohn's veteran, it's a passion of CJ, Renika, and I, and we just aim to really help people all over the world become aware that they're not alone. Just like you telling your story right now lets somebody know that they can still do amazing things in life like you're doing right now for all these organizations and stuff, and still have an ostomy and stuff. So it's cool.
Definitely.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. It's
So
been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of challenges, but we're all about, it's military. We're all about, overcoming adversity. So
right. That true grit type thing.
Yeah.
So what so when you're not taking over the ostomy world and stuff like that, what do you do in the, I'm sure, limited free time that you have when you're not doing that?
I go out in the backyard with my puppy Sam. He's a Chihuahua Whippet, and I've had him for 4 years now, and we're buddies. We hang out together, and it's a lot of fun. He cracks me up, and
Cool.
I do a little bit of reading. Listen to a lot of music, music from 1955 to 1975. There's a Vietnam Vet Radio. It's an organization, nonprofit, and they have an online radio station. It's 24/7.
Cool.
And they have a few DJs. They have like an hour and a half show during the daytime. They have a chapel. The founder of the organization is they're all military. They're all veteran Vietnam vets. They let me in because I'm a veteran, but they actually let anybody in to listen and join. They have the chat room. Anyway, so the founder of the organization is an ordained minister, and he has chapel on Sunday and morning and Sunday night. Mm-hmm. So if anybody has any concerns, they can always contact Benny Delight is his name. I'll put a plug out there for him. But we're all in this journey together, and definitely. I just love listening to music. So I'm what you call musically reclined. That's my term for it. I just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the music. I write a lot of blogs, articles. I've been doing a lot of podcasts. I've been a guest on a lot of podcasts in the last several months. Like I said, I've got several more lined up here. I've got interviews for other podcast appearances. Cool. And I'm also just recently, I should have mentioned this earlier, there's a organization called Hope Has Arrived out of South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And that's a Christian-based organization that I'm collaborating with. In fact, I have an article I'm going to be writing here in the next couple days. We did our initial podcast last week, and that's going to be posted probably first week of March. And there's a few other ones out there, like I said, that line these. The hosts of these podcasts, they line them up, and then we tape them. And whether it's going to be a blog or a podcast, and then they'll release them in the upcoming months. So, but
awesome, Renika.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for sharing that. And I was reading about you as well, and your analogy about life and how you related to baseball. That was so. I was like, okay, that makes so much sense. So, do you mind sharing about that? How did you come up? How did you come up with that personally? Because when I was reading, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I like how you put that together like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well. I love the game of baseball. I've watched it. I've been to a lot of games growing up. I've got some friends that are retired baseball players, major league and minor league. When I got diagnosed, it's just one of those things, I wake up in the middle of the night and I have this epiphany, and that was one of them. I'd heard something about someone saying that, what was it? It was an announcer for the Braves, Chip Carey, Harry Carey's son. And I remember watching it on the Braves games way back in the 80s. When the game would go into extra innings, Chip would say, well, fans, we've got free baseball. We're going into extra innings. Because really, if you go to a baseball game, your ticket's good for 9 innings. That game goes into extra innings. Guess what? That's free baseball. So I thought of, well, you know what? All the sports we have that I know of, they have time limits, but baseball doesn't. So what does baseball and life have in common? We don't have a time limit. So I got chills right now thinking of it, because my life is in extra innings, so I'm enjoying free baseball.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I have a mantra that I had woke up one night. It was back in May of, I think it was 2015. And the first 2 words on my mind were forge ahead. And this was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, well, forge ahead. So I wrote it down on my piece of paper. And I thought, forge ahead, forge ahead. Okay, forge ahead with a purpose. Okay, but that's FAP, but I have AFAP. So I said, well, what am I doing? I'm always forging. Boom, there it is. Always forge ahead with a purpose.
I love it.
Signature my email ever since. But really, that's my life, is I'm forging ahead with a purpose. And my purpose is to, like I said, educate the world on the importance of hereditary cancer syndrome, and in early detection, and continuing the legacy of Dr. Lynch.
Okay.
And when I do presentations, I actually have 4 take-home points. These are based on 4 words that I adopted after my surgery, and recovering while I'm home, because I was home for 7 weeks before I went back to my jobs. So I came up with the words attitude, faith, adapt, and purpose. And attitude, what that means is, I look at attitude as 100%. So, attitude's permanent. We could be in a bad mood, but you have a positive attitude. Mood, attitude is permanent, mood is temporary. So I say, well, my positive attitude has allowed me, afforded me the opportunity to overcome, my condition, my surgery, and have a life with ostomy. Right. So then I thought about the word faith, just in general. So what is faith? Faith to me is believing in something you can't see. So if you look outside and you see the trees, the branches swaying in the breeze, you can't see the breeze. However, you can see the effect of it. So what is faith? It's believing in something you can't see. So furthermore, I took the word faith and I broke it down. I made an acronym, and the acronym is full assurance, influence through hope. So my positive attitude had a direct impact on my faith, which had a direct impact on my ability to adapt as an ostomate for the rest of my life. And so I took the word adapt and I broke that down into an acronym. Attitude determines the ability for a positive transformation. So here I've got my positive attitude, my strong faith, ability to adapt as an ostomate, which leads me to purpose. And my purpose, once again, is to share my journey on the importance of early detection and continuing Dr. Lynch's legacy. And so the take-home point, well, those are take-home points, but there's a hidden gem in there. If you take the first letters of each of those words, attitude, faith, adapt, and purpose, what do you have? AFAP.
Yep, I was thinking about that when you said those words.
Yeah, and then also my mantra, always forge ahead with a purpose. Once again, the first letters of each of those words spells AFAP. Awesome. That's awesome. And it's just divine intervention. I just wake up. I mean, I have these epiphanies, and then I started, I share these, the take-home points I share at all my live case presentations. In fact, yesterday, I was a live case presentation for a virtual genetic and GI malignancy conference, the University of Texas Health Science Center in San Antonio. I did it live 2 years ago. They invited me to be on a virtual guest yesterday. So they had 200 medical students in their 3rd year of residency. They were GI residency students. And they had 2 certified genetic counselors and 3 GI doctors. And that was a live case presentation. I had 10 minutes to speak to the audience. It was amazing.
Wow, that's great. Well, again, thank you so much for for sharing your journey and your and your advocacy work with us, and our audience and stuff. It's, it's great to have you. It's been great to have you here, Dan. And I think we're going to wrap up here a little bit. But what is, I know you're on Instagram and stuff, if people out there want to get in contact with you, to support either you or, or the organizations that you support, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can reach out to me on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, and I'm also on Facebook. So my Facebook is Daniel Dry Dock Shockley. And then, like I said, I'm also like Instagram. They can contact me, and you can, if you want to, anything, you want to share that I put out there, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you.
We're all on this journey together. So
definitely, yeah, definitely will. I definitely support support you.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting things coming up here in the next several months. I'm getting more exposure overseas. So it's going to be pretty amazing right now. It continues to be pretty amazing.
Definitely. Love
Awesome. But we all wish you, success and, and good fortune in everything that you do. And as far as, for Crohn's Veteran, you can find us at crohnsveteran.com. You can, we're on Apple, we're on Google, Spotify, Anchor. We have a YouTube channel and stuff. We have a Teespring store where you can find
awesome.
Yeah, like Crohn's Veteran gear and stuff like that, and we're always trying to expand that out. We're completely grateful for our supporters, our listeners, our subscribers, our members, all that kind of stuff. So please, join Crohn's Veteran, on our journey to raise awareness for IBD, and definitely check out Dan Shockley, for everything. Colon cancer and ostomy stuff. And so, he will, and so again, thank you for being here, sir. And, safe travels.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you. And thank you. I appreciate that. And, we can collaborate on future, future endeavors. I've got, it's just like I said, it's been an amazing journey, and we've got a lot of opportunities ahead of us. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for that. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome, Dan. You're very welcome, Dan. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Good day.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.